I'm a 50-year Giants fan. I've actually been following the Giants since summer of '63. I know I don't look that old, but I am a legit 50-year Giants fan. I've always loved the home run. The first game I ever went to a Candlestick, the first home run was by Willie Mays, but my favorite Giant in the '60s was Willie McCovey, and that has been maintained over the years. Because I loved home runs, I always wanted to catch one, and when I took early retirement from a company in the Valley, I said when I left, I'm going to catch a McCovey Cove home run. I always was a good kayaker. My dad used to build kayaks, and a few of them, and I did a sport where you had to race kayaks. So that ability to race a kayak turned out to be a really good skill to have. So this kayak was a Christmas present for me in the 1990s, and it was before AT&T Park was built. I also have a wetsuit in here, but this is if it gets really cold. I have a 3mm full body wetsuit. I have food in here, life preserver, different shoes, extra batteries, everything you need to be independent in McCovey Cove. I'm actually in the next year going to replace this Lucky kayak. This kayak weighs about 65 pounds, and I'm actually going to try to go to a 20-pound kayak made out of carbon fiber. I'll go from 65 pounds to 20 pounds. That will give me additional speed. I'll be about 20% faster, and it will give me an extra zip. The other thing as I get old, and I plan on doing this into my 70s, is that I can lift that kayak as an old man. This one here, maybe another 10 years I might be aching and paining, but with the 20-pound kayak, I think I can do that till I'm 80. My first splash hit was by Randy Wynn, and I got it. Randy Wynn wasn't here too long, but he came on in 2005. I remember. And one of the great things about Randy is, in September of his first year, he had 51 hits. 51 hits, and that at the time was the all-time Giant record for the most hits in 1 month in Giants history. And he only hit one home run into the Cove, and it was this one. One of my most special home runs is this one here. Willie McCovey, being my favorite player, was in the broadcast booth with Croup and Kite for his 50th anniversary of his Major League debut, July 30th, 2009. And Panda was at bat, and he said, "Panda, he's one of my favorites." And no more did that come out of his lips. Panda crushed one into the Cove. There might have been 12, 15 kayaks, and we were packed in like sardines. And that ball landed about 2 feet away from me. And had it led 5 feet away, I might not have got it. But that was Panda's first splash at age 22 years. This is the first home run ever hit by an American League hitter. It was hit by Big Papi, David Ortiz, off Cy Young winner Lincecum. One of the home runs I got was Beltran's 300th home run. And I also got his 298 a couple days before. But I met with Carlos in the clubhouse. He was nice enough, he got security to invite me in. I met with him, we did a cool photo session. He gave me one of his bats, and then I gave him the 300 ball as a souvenir. But in giving the ball to Carlos, I think he felt like he owed me something. And the next year, Angel Pagan hit this home run in the NLCS off Chris Carpenter of the St. Louis Cards. It landed in the arcade, bounced onto the warning track. Carlos picked it up, he threw it as hard as he could, and I was there with 40 kayakers, and it darn near beamed me. And I picked that up. Carlos has no idea that I got it, but Angel Pagan just signed it for me a couple weeks ago, which was pretty cool. And I think I'm going to give this to Angel. I know he wants it, and so by the end of the year, this will be back in Angel's hands. One of the things I like to do is to communicate with fans. And so what I've done over the years in McCovey Cove is I've made these laminated signs. And actually, I've been making signs like this for like 50 years. One of my favorite players a few years back was Nate Sherholz, and I made this sign for him, and he came on, I think, in 2007. By 2008, I made this sign for him. It wasn't until July 8th of 2011 he got his first splash hit. I got it, and Bob Costas and Al Michaels were on TV as guest TV broadcasters, and I immediately held up this sign, and Bob Costas says, "Oh yeah, Nate's first splash." When I got Brandon Belt's second home run, his splash 62 that I swam for, I held this sign up afterwards. He signed it for me. when Carlos Beltran came to the Giants in 2011 in a late season trade, we knew that he had the power, so I made him this welcome sign, and basically got 2 home runs, including his 300th, and he wasn't here for long, but I got to meet with him that day, and he signed the sign September 14th.
Really nice penmanship, too.
Yes, he took more time, I would say, than average. I got a splash hit on my mom's birthday. She got to see that she's like a 60-year Giants fan. And then one of my predictions this year is that we will have our first right-handed hitter to hit a splash hit. It's never been done, never. I believe Michael Morse is the man, and under the right conditions, maybe tonight, he's going to hit the first right-handed splash. When I try to get a home run, I try to be very prepared. And I'm a new school guy. I use statistics to try to figure out where that home run ball is going to land. So I study every home run a player hits, particularly left-handed hitters. And if you look at 5 or more years with their home runs, you find out where their sweet spot is, Mike. And that's where I go. So I paddle slowly to sweet spots.
Here's Dave's hitting charts, just like the guys do in there. He's got his hitting charts on it. He knows where to play his position, his kayak. This guy's taking this stuff to a new level, obviously.
So what happens is we're listening to
you're listening to the game
on the radio.
Now,
one of my competitors is here, but if he doesn't know, I'm going to let him in on one of my secrets.
Oh, no.
I'll let him on this. So what happens is we cannot see the ball leaving the bat, but we hear it said it's hit deep to right, and by the voice, how full of expression is, we know how hard it's hit. So the question is, are you in the right spot or not?
Right.
And so what I do before every player's at bat, I look on the top of the wall.
Watch
and I look for, is anybody there with a mitt? And I go, oh, there's 2 guys with a mitt, that guy and that guy. And I'm looking at it. And as soon as the ball, it's announced it's hit, I see those guys fighting through the crowd, running towards the foul pole. And I go, oh my God, I'm in the wrong spot. And so if you look on the video, I'm the first one to leave. Now, I'm up to 5 miles an hour, and guys are, and then all of a sudden, guys, oh, there it is in the air.
Is that fast on a kayak?
That's 5 or 6 is pretty fast, and I've done it in just a second or 2, and
a burst of energy.
Now that I have momentum, if you're at a dead stop, it's hard. So sometimes the other night, a guy had a ball land maybe 20 feet from him, and I was maybe 130 feet away, and it was a foul ball, and I was able to catch him, and he was a beginner, but he was a Cleveland Indian, so from that standpoint, he was my adversary all the way. There's really only one official rule, is that you can't use motorized vehicles inside the buoys here for safeties. Outside of that, there really are no, everybody have some competitive drive. We tend to be all friends, but once the ball's in the air, it truly is every man and woman for themselves. I broke a rib where a guy came in inadvertently really fast and broke a rib. I've had guys paddle mistakenly over my kayak where I had to swim for balls. I swam for 3 home runs where people have hit me because they're not good paddlers. I've been hit in the mouth of paddle so many times, but once it's in your hand in here, it's yours. It's yours. Once it's in your hand. But if it's not in your hand, it is like bumper cars out there.